Hello. Guys, just a minute. I'll be back. Hello. Okay, guys, so we are live, and I'm extremely sorry for a little bit of delay. Actually, we had some technical issues, but now we are fine, and I guess we can continue with today's session. So, before moving forward, I just wanted to share one more thing that you have one task, okay? Basically, it's a small task. Just visit our practice.geeksforgeeks.org website, and here you got our courses. So basically, I'm actually enrolling you into a free course that is a full stack bootcamp. And in this course, basically, if you are watching the part one of this analog clock, so the part two will be hosted in this course, and that will be totally free, and it will be a Zoom call. So what we can do is you can just simply visit this courses section, or you can simply click more courses, whichever you like. And yeah, in this courses section you have to visit the development part, because we are in development part, and then we have to visit this full stack bootcamp. Okay, so just click explore and you got this course. Basically, it's a boot camp, and it contains everything required for a full stack development skill. Basically, a monster developer, you can become a monster developer by following up this boot camp. And here, basically, all of the theory part is covered in this section. Okay, and also the live part, that is the Zoom calls which I was talking about, is scheduled here. That is the part two of this project is scheduled for tomorrow, that is 23rd December. So you can watch it here, and part one is hosted on YouTube. So we are actually covering it simultaneously. Okay, so the part one will be on YouTube, part two will be on Zoom. That's how it's done. Okay, and the previous projects are also being covered here, so you can just check out. Also, if you want to learn something like basics of JavaScript and everything, you can just check the theory part. And if you want some projects, you can just check this live section, you'll get everything. Okay, so this was a small hint how can you get the part two of this analog clock. Today we are covering part one, part two will be covered here. Okay, so I guess now we can continue. And if you like today's video, don't forget to subscribe to Geeks for Geeks development channel. All right, so yeah, let me just close everything so that our laptop has a little bit of more RAM, because my laptop is continuously doing a lot of stuff right now. So let's just continue. Okay, so one more thing I wanted to tell you, that all of the source code will be available on my GitHub profile. So you have to just visit my GitHub, that is github.com/virajj014. Okay, that's the GitHub URL which you have to visit. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it here, and then we can continue. Okay, so I have shared my GitHub profile on the live chat. You can just check out. And in this GitHub profile, you have to simply visit the repositories section. Okay, so in the repositories section, you got my various projects. Various previous projects are also available here. So you can just search them and you can find them. But today's project is not yet uploaded, but I'll upload it soon with the name something like Analog JavaScript. I'll just tell you what's the name. Okay, so just don't worry about that. The main agenda of today's video is to actually build the UI part of our project. And this UI part is basically anything like I'll just make the basic UI part, and maybe in the next video, that is part two, I'll just change the sum of the UI part, because today I was in a little bit of rush, so I didn't make a better UI. So but it's enough to just implement JavaScript. So if we get time, then we'll just update the UI, but the basic UI is also done. So I'll just explain the basic UI first, and then we'll make a better UI if we get more time. Okay, so I guess we can continue, and you can just check out my GitHub for the source code. All right, so I'll just close this one, and yeah, so let me just demonstrate what we are going to do. So basically, this is our analog clock project using JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So a lot of people face difficulties in JavaScript, and a lot of people face difficulties in CSS also, because making an analog clock basically requires a great knowledge of CSS and also a great knowledge of JavaScript date and time functionalities. So basically, we are going to cover both of them, that is CSS animations, which will move the analog clock hand. Okay, all of the three hands are minute and seconds, and also the JavaScript part which covered the basically it will update time every time. Okay, so yeah, it will be covered in the next video, but today we are going to focus on the basic UI part, HTML and CSS. So now we can just create another folder here. So all of my projects are being covered here, so I'll just make another folder here, and here we can create a new folder as, let me just name it JS analog clock. Okay, so JS analog clock. So if you are checking my GitHub profile, so basically in repositories the name will be same for the source code also. So you can just search for JS analog clock and you'll find the source code. All right. So right now it's not been yet uploaded, but soon I'll upload it. Okay, after the stream it will be uploaded. Just check that out a little bit later. All right. So I'll just create another file here, index.html, index.html. Yeah, index.html. You can just name it anything, but it's my habit and it's good to just name it index.html. All right, so another file, that's style.css. Another file, script or index.js, anything you like. So I'll just write script.js. Okay, any name, you can just give it any name. So in VS Code we simply use another shortcut. So let me just increase the font size. I guess it's not visible, much visible. Okay, so yeah, I guess now it's visible. And now just simply make an exclamation sign and then hit enter. So basically this boilerplate is being created. So now we can continue now. Okay, so basically our today's goal is to create a UI something like this, and we might update it in next video if I find that it's not much good as I think, and if we get time. All right, so it's not a big thing, not a big task. Anyone can do this. Okay, so let me just tell you the basics of this UI. So basically our goal is first to align these numbers in a circular format. Okay, first we'll create a circle like this and then align the numbers in a circular format, and then we have to create our three hands, that is the hour hand, minute hand and second hand. Okay, so you can see it's the time is always accurate, that is it will be based on the area or the region of the country or globe wherever you are looking at. So basically in India the time is right now 8:26, so the time is 8:26 in this clock. Okay, so the time will always be accurate and it will keep on updating. Like you can see that this second hand is moving every second. Okay, and this minute hand will move every minute, and this hour hand will move every hour. Like it will move between 8 and 9 in some part of minutes. Basically it will move from 8 to 9 in every hour. Okay, slowly. So it will work like a normal clock, like you might be having some analog clock in your houses, so it will be same as this one. Okay, so now we can continue, and you can just make a better UI if you want, and you can make more changes into this. Like some of the people have oval clocks in their houses, so different clocks are available. You can make any one of them, but I'm choosing a simple example, that's a circular clock. Okay, circular analog clock. Okay, so now I'll just open this source code. Okay, this one with live server. So I'll just start my server, open with live server, and yeah, our page has been opened, and this was the final output. So basically we are going to work on this page. So let me just split my screen and split this one also. um, yeah, now I guess it's okay. And if you find a little bit of difficulty in the text, like I guess it's visible enough, but if you find it too small, then you can just tell me to increase that and I'll increase that, but I guess it's fine. Okay, so let me just make it a little bit more visible to me also. Okay, now I guess we can continue. So I'll just name this document as um, an analog clock. Okay, so analog clock, and after this we can just continue, and here we have to let me just check if it's working. Yeah, it's working. So let me just comment this out, and now we are just going to make the simple UI part first, and then we'll go to the CSS part. Okay, so let me just first write the HTML part, and then I'll explain it via CSS. Okay, so first we have to create a clock container which will actually contain our clock circle and everything inside the clock, that is the numbers and the hour, minute and second hands. Okay, So let me just create a div, and I'll just write a class here. Class can be clocks. Okay, so this is a basically a clock container, and inside this also we can do one more thing. I'll just import my CSS here. So I'll write link rel. Okay, so I have just created my CSS file as style.css, so I've just imported it as style.css. Okay, so you can just rename this to anything else, and you can just import it like this. Okay, or you can just put a dot slash if you find it a little bit confusing, then now it's okay. Okay, so basically we have imported our CSS file from here, and any changes will be shown here. Okay, so now let me just create my hands first. So basically we are going to create three hands, and for them I'll just simply write class equals hand. Okay, so basically we are trying to create three hands, so for that we'll just write copy paste. Okay, so we are just going to create three hands, and basically one of them will be R, one of them will be a minute hand, and one of them will be a second hand. Okay, so let me just write some separate class name also. So for minute we have min, for second let me just make it hr, so it will be more uh, in a structured way. So r minute, and then second. Okay, so these are the three hands, and it will be shown at the it will actually originate from the center of our clock. Okay, clock circle, and these are the three hands, and after that we are just going to create the numbers also. So for the numbers I'm just going to create a simple div. Okay, and after this we will simply write num1. Okay, so basically uh, it will decide the position of our 1. Okay, again we are going to create the same for number 2 and number 3 and number 4. So I'll just copy this. Yeah, I guess it is enough. And number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12. Okay, I guess it is enough. Yeah, it's enough actually. We have only 12 numbers in our analog clocks, and basically after 12 it again moves to 1. Okay, so yeah, the numbers are enough, and let me just change the classes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here are our 12 numbers, and we are just going to decide their position inside our circle. Okay, that is the clock. And also we can do one more thing. Now let's just start the CSS part first. Okay, then we can see what we can actually add more to this HTML part, but I guess it's enough, and now we can just go here. Okay, so in the CSS part, first we have to always, I have done this always, just write star, and simply I write margin padding 0, border box. Okay, so that's the simple thing which I always do. And you can just write one more thing, that is font size can be anything. So I'll just write font family, I mean font family can be anything. So let me just write Korean one. This is my font family, anything you can choose, or you can just upload a Google font here and you can use that. So let me just give it a nice background to my body. Okay, so you can give any background, just write background, or you can just give any pattern image. Like if you like any pattern image, you can just give it in the URL part of the background, and simply you can write hashtag. I'll just write my color FF5757. So it's a red color. Okay, basically a light red color, but you can choose any other color if you want. Okay, so there are many colors here, you can choose any color, but I thought that's okay. Okay, it's looking nice, so we can continue. Some of people might think, yeah, what is this red color, it's not looking nice. So you can change that, obviously you can change that anytime. So we can do one more thing. I'll just make it a variable. Okay, I'll just make this background a variable, so it will be more better. Okay, so I'll just cut this and I'll create a um, I'll just create it as a variable, and I'll write primary color as and I'll just paste it here, and I'll just import my color here. So for that I'll just write where and which variable, primary color. So I've imported my primary color and it got here. So you can just change this color, you won't have to change the body or anything else. Okay, so after this let me just do one more thing. I guess by default our height is not 100%. Okay, you might be thinking that it took the whole background, but by default the height is not 100%. So we'll just do that later, but let's first make a circle of our clock hand, basically of our clock. So for that we'll just write clock and width. You can just give it any width, and I'll just write 500 pixel, 500 pixel width and 500 pixel height, because we want to make a circle. And we'll write border radius as 50%. Okay, border radius as 50. And also we can give it a background of suppose we write white. Okay, suppose we write white color. Okay, so we got a white circle, very nice white circle, and you can just see that it's a white circle, but we want this circle to be in center of our page. So for that you can do one more thing, like in the body part we made a display flex, right? So for bringing anything in center, the height and width must be 100%. By default width is 100%, but for making height to be 100%, like height of the full port, viewing port, we can just make it 100 vh. So height can be 100 vh. Okay, 100 vh is the height. Now we can do just simply write justify content center and align item center. So it's in the center of our page, and now you can see the clock is looking nice. Okay, so it's on the center, and now I guess we can continue. So you can just decrease the opacity also if you want, so it became a less visible, but if it's your choice, you can just change the opacity anything you want. Okay, so it's nice. Okay, you can just do anything here, and I'll just write here. Okay, so I'll just write secondary color, and secondary color I'll just copy this part. I'll just copy this part and I'll paste it here, and I guess this should work. Where secondary colors, so yeah, it's nice. All right, so I guess you got this part, and now we can continue. All right, so if you find something like the these scroll bars are being shown, so you can do one more thing. You can just write overflow hidden here, so you might not see the scroll bars, but I'm not seeing the scroll bars, so it's okay. Okay, I guess it's fine. So we can continue. It's in the center of our page, and after this we have to align our numbers also. So for aligning the numbers, we can do one more thing. um, First, let's make this clock.num1. Okay, clock. I'll just write a common CSS first. Okay, so for writing a common CSS for numbers, I'll just um, select this part, Control F2. Okay, everything is selected, and then I'll just write num. So I'll just create a common class num, and I have created separate classes num1, num2, num3. Okay, so and so on. So after this you have to simply target the num class, because we are going to create a common style for these numbers. So in the num class, um, first of all let me just make the font size as, suppose if I write 1.5 rem. Okay, 1.5 rem, so they got a little bit of bigger size. And after this I'll write every number should take width of 100%. Okay, 100%, 100% width, and again 100% height. So yeah, they got separated. Now we'll just align them wherever we like. So first if I write text align as center, so yeah, they are in the center of our page. Now if I write my transform property, if I write my transform property, let me just make its position as I guess we can make it absolute. So yeah, they are in absolute position, but after this we have to write a transform property. Let me just check whether it will work for any degree or not. So if I write 0 here, so 0 is working, but it's not coming in center, so I just gave it position as okay. If I write position relative here, okay, now they are in center. So basically if you write position relative here, then according to this outer container, absolute will start working, okay. But previously it was working for the whole body, now it's working only for the clock, okay. So basically the num are being positioned for the clock because of this position absolute, and the outer one is relative. So now you can see the numbers are here. All right, so let me just do one more thing. If I write, I've written the position rotate as 0. If I write it as 10, if I write it as 10, or if I write it as 30, so it's not working well. Okay, so sorry, I haven't written any degree here. So if I write 30 degree, yeah, it's working fine. So just assume that we have 12 numbers in our clock, right? And we have a circle of 360 degree, right? So just write 360 degree. So if you divide 360 with 12, what do you get? You simply get r 30 degree, so you have to write 30 degree, okay. So basically each each of the number is separated by 30 degree. So for that you can just simply, if I want to write something else, so if I write 60 degree here, so it got a 60 degree and so on. But initially everything must be a 0 degree. And so if I can create a variable here, if I write a variable here, dash dash rotation, or I can just create, okay, you can just create a local variable, you don't need to create a global variable like this, okay. You can just create a local variable as rotation 0, and I'll just write where, okay, where rotation, okay. I'll just save it. Now it's fine, and now we can continue. So now we have to target the individual numbers like num1, num2, num3. So for num1, clock dot num1. For num1, what we can do is simply just write rotation as 30 degree, because one is at 30 degree from this position, one is at 30 degree, so basically it became a 30 degree. Now after this I'll just copy this and I'll paste it here. So if I write 2 and I'll just make it 60 degree, so we got 2 here. Again, if I just copy these two and I'll paste them below, and if I write num3 as 90 degree, okay, it's in 90 degree from the initial position. Num4 is at 120 degree, so it's in 120 degree. Yeah, you have to write num4 here. So yeah, we got 120 degree. And then after this, num5 is at 150 degree. So you might be seeing that I got a suggestion. Basically this suggestion came from GitHub Copilot extension, which I've been using in VS Code, so you can just use that. After this, num6. So for num6 the angle is 180. For num7, I guess the angle is 210, है ना, 210. So I'll just save this. Yeah, it's looking nice, it's looking nice. Okay, and you can do one more thing. You can just flip these text if you want, but I'm not doing that right now. But you can just flip this by using these properties. Okay, we'll do that later. After this, num8 is at 240 degree, num9 is at 270 degree, and num10 is at 300 degree. Num11 is at 330 degree, okay. And num12 is by default at 0 or 360, whatever you like, okay. So basically 360 degree is again treated as 0 degree, you know that, okay. So now you can see that the numbers are aligned, right? The numbers are aligned well, and you can just change the CSS part of these numbers if you want. And what I can do is simply change some CSS parts, okay. So let me just make it font weight. If I write 600 here, so if I write 600 here, yeah, it's looking nice, okay. So I guess it's okay, it's looking nice. And you can just change the CSS of the number from here, okay. You don't need to change anything from here, they are just for setting the rotation of the numbers, like the position of the numbers. But the main CSS of the number is this one, okay. We just set the rotation from here. After this setting the rotation, we have to create our hands, okay. So for creating our hands, we can just simply create a circle in between. So for that you don't need to create any separate class, or you can create if you want, but I'll just write my after property. So in clock container, we have to use our after property, and the content is nothing, so you would have to write the blank container. Okay, blank. And after this content is nothing, then we have to write position as absolute, and after making it as absolute, so basically it will take anything from this clock, not the whole body, from this clock, like our numbers were working. So simply we can simply just write 50% from top and 50% from left, that is, we want a circle in between. So let me just first make a background color of black first. Okay, and I'll just give it a width of 10 pixel, height of 10 pixel. Let me just check if it's okay. So you got a box here, so let me just increase its size. Okay, increase its size, and then I'll just make it as border radius of 50% because I want to make it a circle. Okay, so 50%. Yeah, we got a circle here, but we want it at center. So for that, since we are targeting the position absolute for the clock, okay, for the clock, not the outside body, so we can simply just write here, top 50%, 50%. So we got it at center of our clock circle, and then again left at 50%, so we got that at the center of our circle. Okay, so yeah, the circle is looking fine, and it's, I guess, almost in the center. Okay, you might observe it's little bit left and right because it's like this only. Okay, so it's fine, you can see that it's almost in center. Okay, and our task will be done easily. All right, so after this you can just change the hands color here. Okay, you can just simply make it a red or anything you want. Okay, any color, you can just give it any color, but for now I'm just give it a black color. So after this we have to create our hand. Okay, so for creating the our hand, we can just simply first we can target the hand class. That is which class? Basically we want to target these three, right? These three altogether. Like suppose if it's 12, if it's 12, then 12 hours, 12 hours and 60 minutes, and then 60 seconds. So basically the all of the three hands will be in a line. Okay, that is pointing towards 12. All of the three hands will be pointing towards a 12 number. Okay, so for that you can simply just assume that it's 12, and now we are writing the CSS for 12 only. So I'll just write clock dot hand clock.hand, and for 12 we just saw there key the position is 0, right? The rotation part is 0, so I'll just copy it and I'll paste it here. So for 12 you have assumed that rotation is 0, and basically it will all of the hands will point here. After this you have to write position as absolute, because we have to just align our all of the hands must be originating from the center, that is this circle. Okay, so basically all of the hands must be coming from the center. So for that you have to write position absolute, and do one more thing, just write top 50%, left 50%. Okay, after this um, let me just create my hands also, so that they will be visible. So for creating the hands, I'll just target my second hand first. So I'll just write clock, and then I'll target the second hand. So I'm assuming the width of the second hand can be as thin as possible, so I'll just write 2 pixel. I guess that will be okay. And then height can be 40%. Okay, so 40% basically means if this is 50%, okay, this is 50%, and this is 12, and this is center. Okay, so 40% will be this one. All right, so I guess you assume that basically if the height is this one, 40% is this much. Okay, so basically I want is you can just increase the second hand size. I'll just explain how it's done. So if I write background color as yellow, I want something to be in yellow, so I'll just write a common CSS here first. Second hand color, and I'll just name this as yellow. Okay, and again if I write minute hand color, and the minute hand color can be anything. I'm just writing it as red. Okay, again, if I choose something for R hand, I'll just write not blue, I'll just write black here. So for the R hand, I'll just write my black here. Okay, you can just change the colors from here and it will be changed for the overall clock. So now you can see that the hand is here. Okay, one of the hand is here because we have created the second hand. So instead of this, I can just simply write what I can do is simply target that variable, which variable, second hand color. Okay, so we got a yellow color here, and after this we can give it a border radius, a border of 1 pixel solid yellow if you want. I don't think it's required, so just leave it. Okay, I guess it's enough, and you can just increase the width by this, and you can just increase or decrease the height of this hand by anything. Like if I write 30%, you got a smaller hand, so you got the idea. Why am I writing 40%? Because it's almost here. So if I write 50%, so it's almost there. Okay, so you can just do anything, but I assume that 40% is fine. Okay, so 40% is fine. And after this what we can do is similarly we can target the minute hand. So for the minute hand, I have chosen the minute hand, so here I can write the minute hand, MIN, I guess, for the minute hand, and I'll just write MIN here, MIN. Okay, so MINUTE. What was the name? I forgot the name. So let me just check. MINUT. Minute hand color. Okay, minute hand color. Yeah, it was minute hand color. It's not visible because of this one. So if I just remove this one, you get the minute hand. So I'll just decrease the size of this minute hand so that it's visible. If I just decrease its size to 37%, okay, 37%, and the width can be 4 pixel, I guess 4 pixel is enough. So here's our minute hand, and here was our second hand. Okay, so the second hand is like this. Yep, it's fine. So you got the second hand, it's a little bit longer, and the minute hand is a little bit shorter. You can just decrease the size as much as you can. So if I write 35%, it will become a little bit of smaller size. Okay, the minute hand will become a little bit small. Also, you can do one more thing. The same is for our hand. So just copy this part and paste it below, and I'll just write our HR. Okay, so in the our hand, you can just simply increase the width to something like around 8. Okay, so the R hand became 8, and I'll just write HOUR hand. So yeah, the R hand becomes 8 pixel wide, and I'll just decrease its size to 30%. Okay, so yeah, our hands are looking nice, but what I want is I'll just increase the width first. Okay, so it's fine, and what I want is if I just increase its size to 45, and if I increase its size to 40, and if I increase its size to 35, so now I guess it's okay, and I'm satisfied with the stylings. And you can just change the styling anytime if you want, but it's okay. So after this, I want to give the border radius also. So for that, I'll just write border radius as 50% for all hands. So basically they will become a little bit of more round, but I guess it's not looking much nice. So instead of writing this, I'll just write border top left radius as 20 pixel. Okay, it's not looking nice. I'll just change it for bottom. So yeah, for bottom it's working, and similar is for border bottom right. So we got the curve here, so you can see we got a curve here, so it's looking nice, and we can continue. So after this, after this, what we can do is simply just write more CSS for this one. So initially we have set rotation as 0, position as absolute. So if I write rotation as 10 DEG, okay. So it's not working for these hands. Let me just see. Okay, we have to write a few more CSS for it first. So I've just gave it a top. No. For that we have to simply pass a bottom. Okay, because from bottom we have to lift it. So from bottom it must be 50%. Now it's pointing towards 12 and it's fine. Now after this you have to write the transform property, then it will be able to rotate these hands. So if I write translate in the, so first if I write rotate, okay, so first if I write rotate, and yeah, you can see that it's not looking nice at all. But if I just change the degree to 30, so it's actually not being in center. So for making them in center, we can do one more thing. We can simply write translate minus 50%. Okay, so translate, actually we want it to be translated only from the x direction. All right, so do one thing, apply this translate property before this one, apply. Okay, I'll just remove this and I write that translate x as minus 50%. All right, so if I make it 0, and I guess we have to write it completely calculate. Okay, so basically we have just made it to calculate a rotation, some rotation into 1 degree. Okay, into 1 deg. Okay, 1 degree. So if I try to rotate this by 10, okay, it's not working. If I rotate this with, okay, so we have to remove this degree first. So if I just increase it to 30, it's not working well. So I can see we did some mistake here. So let me just check what mistake has been done here. So first we gave it a 30 degree. So we assume that 30 degree is something pointing towards 1 and 60 degree is 20 is 2 and so on. Okay, so if we gave it a 30, then it must point towards 30 and it must originate from here. So for that we can just do one more thing. If I write it as 50%, no, it's not working like that. Okay, border is 1 pixel and yeah, border top radius is okay, it's looking nice. Okay, transform origin, okay, we have to just change the transform origin also. So transform origin must be from bottom. So for that we have to write the transform origin property and it must be from bottom. So it will only move from the top part. Okay, it will stay in the center from the bottom. And now we can see that it's nice, but it's not I can say it's not looking like what I wanted is that it's not in much center. So we'll just see that afterwards, but yeah, you got the idea. The hands are okay. And if I just change the rotation part for these second hand, suppose if I write dash dash rotation, and rotation is suppose 120 degree. Okay, okay, as rotation suppose 120, yeah, so it got in the position 120. And let me just copy this, and if I change the this to 120, so they are on the same line. If I just change this to 150, so yeah, they move forward. So you can see that it is working fine, and I'll just make it a little bit more center. mm, I guess if we just decrease the size to 10 and decrease the size to 10, it will work fine. Okay, and also from top it is basically a little bit more. We are actually getting some space here. So what we can do is simply just write z index as 1. Okay, and if I just write 20 and 20 here, and I'll just shift it a little bit towards the top 49, I'll just shift it towards the left as 49. So I guess now it's looking nice, and you got that in almost center part. Okay, so I'll just see if I just apply a better, more better approach to this one, but it's looking fine. Okay, you can see the time is moving as we change the rotation part. So now you got some idea what we are actually going to do in the JavaScript part. Basically in JavaScript we are going to update the rotation for every hand, that is hour hand, minute hand. So initially the obviously the rotation must be set to 0. Okay, then the rotation will be first set as the actual time, like right now it's 8:59. So basically once I load this app, once I load this website, the time must be automatically set to 8:59. So first we will actually change the rotation once we open this website, and then afterwards we will set an interval for every second the hand will change their positions. Okay, so mostly it will be for the second hand for every second, and then for minutes it's for 60 seconds, and for hours it's for 60 minutes. Okay, so for 60 seconds, it basically the minute hand will move, and for the hour, 60 minutes. Alright, so we'll just apply the CSS part in tomorrow's video. That is, it will be covered in the Zoom meeting, and the link will be provided where it will be actually available in the Geeks for Geeks practice page. So I'll just show you how can we access that. So you can just simply go to this website, practice Geeks for Geeks. Okay, practice.geeksforgeeks.org. In this website you can just see there are many courses, but we are trying to find the development course. So you can just click this courses section, you will visit the same page, and after that you have to visit the development page. In the development page we got the full stack bootcamp course, so you can just explore this, enroll for this course and start course, because I've already enrolled in this course, so you have to start. And you'll get all the email updates of anything, any live session which is ongoing. And tomorrow's session will also be hosted here, that is the part 2 of analog clock, in which we'll apply the JavaScript part. So basically all of that will be shown here, JavaScript part will be uploaded here, and I'll just change a little bit of CSS if I like. Okay, and you guys also give me some suggestion if I could make this clock better. And also one more thing, all of the source code will be uploaded in my GitHub profile, so you can just simply visit my GitHub. And also you can just notice all of the previous sessions are also being uploaded here, so you can just check them out here and in YouTube also. So just come back here in my GitHub profile. My GitHub profile is, just write github.com/virajj014. This is my GitHub profile, and just visit this profile. Alright, that's me. And here you can see that we have repository section. In repository section, the project is not yet uploaded, but I'll upload it right now. Okay, let me just see if I can upload this. So let me just create a new repository, and I'll just name it as what I can name as, I guess the name is JS analog clock. Okay, so I'll just name it as JSANALOGCLOCK. So this is the name of our GitHub repository. You can just search this on my profile, GitHub repository, and just create repository. And after this, I'll just write git init. So this won't be working in your device if you haven't set the keys, GitHub keys. Okay, it's a little bit of long procedure, I can't show that right now, but you must know these simple things. Okay, so if I write git init, and after this I'll write git add dot, and after this I can write git commit dash m, and this is the day one. So I'll just write day1, and it's a commit, and after that I'll write git branch ch. Branch is main branch. Okay, and after that we have to write the remote origin, so just copy this remote origin and just paste it here. And after this we have to push the code to this repository. So for that you can simply write in the main origin, you can just push this source code. Okay, and let me just refresh this. Now you'll get your source code. It's pretty fast, and now you can just access this source code and you can do whatever you want. You can just change the CSS, just simply visit this CSS file, and you can just copy or use it for your purpose, or you can simply download it from here. Okay, you can download the zip file from here, it's up to you. Also I'll just share this to the live chat, and I'll also share this to the um, comment section also, right? Okay, I guess, yeah, I've shared the source code of today's part in the live chat, and you can just check out that source code, and you can do your changes and suggest me some more changes in the live section, in the comment section, or you can just contact me on my Instagram. My Instagram handle is @Harshal_3011, or you can just contact me on LinkedIn, Harshal Jain. Okay, so I guess now it's time to leave, and we'll see you tomorrow. Where? In the Zoom, or I have told you how can you visit that Zoom meeting. Basically, you have to just enroll for this course, and in the live section you'll get the meeting link here. Okay, it's been scheduled for tomorrow, so you'll get that meeting link here, and you'll also get email updates if you register via this course. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, see you, have a good day. Bye bye.